I am not kulang sa attention as you guys.
Welcome to Adulting with Joyce Pring. Watch the full video of this episode on my channel, www.youtube.com/JoycePringTV. And if you want to level up your adulting game, check out joycepring.com/collections for my digital products and courses. Ano yung mga usual na common misconceptions? What are the common misconceptions that people have about dressing modestly and sexily that you always hear? Inks, you want to start?
Well, okay. A common misconception for dressing sexily. Like, what do you mean? Like,
nagde-dress ka sexily kasi kulang ka sa attention.
I am not kulang sa attention as you guys.
Diba?
I am not. I am not. I grew up in a very affectionate family. Like, I am furthest from kulang sa attention as can possibly be. So, it's not that. Something that is correct though is that I do want to show off my body. Mm-hmm. That is true. Because for me is I work hard kasi on my body. Or like every now and then sporadically because I do have times where I don't want to. Or like tinatamad tayo kasi minsan,
of
di
course,
ba?
yes.
So,
yes, I know. Yes, I know the feeling.
Yeah. So it's like, when I dress sexy, it's number one, it's so hot in the Philippines. So,
that's another thing.
It's so hot here in the Philippines. Like when I go out, I am also a person with very hyperactive sweat glands. There are people kasi diba who don't sweat, diba? So for me, I'm one of the people who do.
Hindi ako yun but I can relate again.
Yeah. Like, so it's something that it's functional for me also. Like if I dress in like long sleeves, I will die. It's something, I'll get dehydrated. So one, it's functional. Two, it's I do like putting my body on display. The parts of it that I'm proud of, you know what I mean? Common misconception, I guess, is just because I dress sexy in one place doesn't mean I will dress sexy everywhere.
Wait, so you believe that there are certain places wherein you should dress modestly?
Oh,
okay.
For sure.
I think that's another aspect to consider.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. It's a very it's like an awareness kind of thing. This one I will wear here because I know you want me to come as myself. This is what I'll wear to the mall. I will not wear this to go to church, for example, to hear mass because there is a dress code.
Right.
If it is
interesting because there are certain people who don't believe in that. Like, who will not respect that? Like, no, this is who I am. I'm gonna dress however I want.
I think it's a respect thing talaga.
Yeah.
Because, yes.
Yeah. No, I think it's also like what the person's internal like belief is. Your story actually reminded me of something na a friend who goes to this certain church. Tapos there was this like newcomer to the church. And she was really dressed like super cleavage. She was, long sleeves and everything. Pero super cleavage and super tight.
Yeah.
And then most of the people in the church, they weren't saying anything. But they were like, there were people who were judging her. And there's a disrespect and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Sila naman, they did think that way. Pero kasi parang this person is new to the church. So
they don't know the
hindi
culture.
Pa siya siguro, she doesn't know the, money patakaran, what they should be wearing or whatever. It was like one of her first few times to go. So for her, I believe she feels na it was appropriate. So technically,
Right.
she was covered, long sleeves, long pants, but there was the cleavage.
Yeah.
Which the other people found offensive naman.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's another thing with the location and the person
True.
itself.
Yeah.
Could believe something different.
Yeah, they don't always have to be like, I'm doing this because I want to show off my boobs. That's probably what they had.
Yeah, it's
in their
probably what she
closet.
thought was appropriate at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think eventually she changed the way she dressed, I think. Not too close with her, but yeah.
Yeah.
When she finally realized like, oh, this is not good for this particular church.
Parang awareness din siya, kumbaga, of the situation that you're in. But I want to ask you about that, Inks. Kasi why do you think it's important to have that kind of awareness of there are certain places where I can go as sexy as I want.
Yeah.
And then there are certain places where I have to dial it down a little bit and
Personally, it's because I want to be considerate of the people who are there. Not everyone always wants to see like short shorts or cleavage or something like that.
Right.
And for public places that do have like a more controlled crowd, I am more aware of these things. Like, again, a church or, for example, like a formal
School event.
Right.
school event, you know. But if it's a mall, everyone's there,
Yeah.
you know. So everyone of all kinds of different walks of life, I'll dress how I dress. If I go to a place like Cubao X, you know, I'll dress still how I dress, but maybe make it a little bit more artsy, fit the place, you know.
Yeah.
It's like a fitting the place kind of
It's not
thing.
like you wear a bikini to the mall, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not
no.
like you're gonna go to Mega Mall in a bikini. Hindi
Heck
man
no.
ginawa, di ba?
Yeah,
So,
I'll wear
yeah.
a bikini to the beach.
Right.
You know, I'll wear a bikini if I'm, you know, I'll post a bikini photo if I'm at the beach.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a place appropriate kind of thing.
I get that.
Yeah.
How about you, Mars? What do you think about that? Do you think, as somebody who's modest and conservative, do you think that there are places wherein you allow yourself a certain level of sexiness?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, showbiz was one. I mean, there are a lot of things that I wore on stage that I would never wear in like an event. I remember they'd give me like this little dress. It was a really little dress.
Those tiny dresses.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, how did I even fit in that thing? But but it was appropriate for the stage. Maybe because they knew that I was more of a conservative dresser, they made
Right.
up for it with the hair. So even if it was like a sweetheart neckline, they'd put like hair, but it was still really short. But that was for the stage. Or even I remember there was this Star Magic Ball. It was like this big event where people dress up. And I wore this very plunging dress na hanggang dito,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't really wear on a regular day.
Does it make you uncomfortable?
It did at first, but I think it took me a day or two to
Yeah.
just get used to it. Because you have to move different. Din pala eh. I mean, if it's like that, you can't just. I do slouch sometimes, so you know you can't slouch in a dress like that. So it
Yeah.
also makes you kind of. It actually makes you feel a bit sexier because you have to stand upright and you
Yeah,
have to
and
be
then
proud of
the
your
posture.
shape.
Yeah.
So it actually helped. It helped my posture that night. So, you know,
That makes
that
sense.
works.
Yeah. Okay, wait. This is a. That's it for this episode of Adulting with Joyce Pring. If you liked this podcast, please don't forget to use the hashtag Adulting with Joyce Pring and also check out www.joycepring.com for the show notes and tag me on social media with you know it at Joyce Pring. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Paalam.